Hi everybody, here we are on number 18, our 18th trek into the amazing book Song of Solomon. And today, yes, we're into chapter 3 and we're at the beginning of chapter 3. So previously her beloved has called to her and said, come to me, that now's the time's right, come up the mountain with me and be intimate with me. And she says, it's a bit dark right now. I'm paraphrasing, of course. You go on ahead, and when it's a better time for me, I'll come. So he goes. And so we start with chapter 3. All night long on my bed, I looked for the one my heart loves. I looked for him, but did not find him. I will get up now and go about the city, through its streets and squares. I will search for the one my heart loves. So I looked for him, but did not find him. So the first thing, remember the first time when I was deciding to go through Song of Solomon slowly and just look at each verse and not move from that verse until I felt God speak to me in some way, somehow. This was one of the verses that it was so obvious right from the beginning. All night long on my bed, I looked for the one my heart loves. Well, you probably, if you've heard me speak a Song of Solomon before, you'll have heard me say this before. How long does it take you to look on your bed? How long does it take you to look and see who, if anyone, is in that bed with you? A split second? Must be less than a second. You just open your eyes, you see. But she says, all night long on my bed. Throughout the night, after she said no and he'd gone, she spent the rest of the time looking for him in her bed, in her place of comfort. And she says, for the one my heart loves. Now, the thing is, we all say that we love God. You know, we feel that we love him, we sing worship to him. But when the time comes for us to do something that shows our love, which involves an inconvenience to us, getting up in the night or being loving to someone who's being spiteful to you or giving away something that he's asked you to give away that you love, whatever those things are, it just seems a bit inconvenient. God, I will follow you after this, after when my kids have grown up and I've got more time, then I'll follow you, or when I'm retired, or whenever. We have all these things that when it's a bit more convenient. But she still loves him, even though she's not yet prepared to go after him in the way that he's asked. She loves him. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things I love about this book, because the book takes us through a stage of this bride's love for her groom. It starts with that adoration where her heart's pounding and she says, you know, his kisses, his mouth is more delightful than wine. His kisses are more delightful than wine. She loves to be with him. She wants to be with him. And that's the, you know, the rapture at the beginning when you start a relationship and you can't see anything wrong. You're in love. But then when the relationship gets a little bit more difficult and things are required of you, then it begins to get something where you step back a bit and you're not sure if you want to give yourself fully to this relationship. And she goes through these times when it's difficult, and we watch her through this book of Song of Solomon moving into a more mature place where she is ready for him no matter what comes, and we'll see that as we get to it. But the thing is, it doesn't make any difference to the groom how far along in her experience she is. He loves her with a passion, the same at the beginning when she's passionate for him, the same when she's turned away and said, not right now, Lord, and the same when she's mature. He's still passionate for her and he's still desirous of her the whole time. He's desirous of an intimate relationship with her and coming close to her. And that just kind of gave me hope, because there are so many times I've run after God and then it slows down, things happen in your life, maybe, you know, things with the children or work or even ministry kind of gets in the way of you doing all the things that you feel you want to do for God. And then you can begin to feel a bit of a failure. But to Jesus, it's no different. He loves her all the time. And she loves him, even though she's sat on her bed in a comfortable place, not doing anything out of her comfort zone. She still feels she's looking for him. And the point is, you don't find him there. You don't find him in the place where you're refusing to step out. He still loves you. He still comes to you, but his invitation is always for you to step out, get off your bed, and walk, as Jesus said in the New Testament, and he's calling you to get out of that area of comfort, of warmth, of coziness. You think that you're looking for him, you say that you're looking for him. And I remember that's what happened with me. You know, I've just realising this morning I have a little bookmark that I made when I found a picture on, I can't remember where it is now, it's somewhere in my Bible. I was looking at it this morning. Oh, there it is. It's probably backwards, will it? Yes. Yeah, it's a backwards, but it does say, and you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart, from Jeremiah 29:13. And that verse spoke to me many, many years ago. And I kept believing I was seeking him. And I remember worshipping in church, believing, Lord, I'm seeking you, but I'm not really finding you. I know you love me. I know you're there. I can find you in the word and preach, but I'm not getting the more of God that I really want. And that was when he spoke to me, and I think I've shared already on this series that he told me that I was one of those people who compartmentalize their lives and give him so much. But there's other bits that we say, well, I'm holding on to that bit. I don't really want to give up that. So please don't ask me to give up that. And I realized I wasn't seeking with all my heart. And that's what that verse means. Everything in you, that there's nothing that you hold back, that you don't say to him, Lord, I love you and I want to serve you, but please don't ask me to go to another country, or please don't ask me to stay here, or I love you and I want to serve you, but I really can't give up Coronation Street, or I don't know, something that's important to you. I don't want to give up having shoes for every different outfit. I don't want to give up eating whatever I want whenever I want. I don't want to have to fast. Don't ask me to fast, Jesus. You know, there's all these things we really love him, and he accepts that, and he sees that we love him, but he's asking for more. He's asking for every part. You know, didn't he say we have to love God with all our heart, soul, strength and might? Everything of us. He wants it all. And it's because when we give him all, we receive more from him. Because while our life is filled with bits of us, those areas can't be filled with him. And so we don't always get all the fullness that we could have of it. And there's so much more in the word. So she's looking for him, and she doesn't find him on a bed. And you won't find him in your place of comfort. You won't find him as much as you want him. He is there. He does love you. He wants to be with you. But you'll find the more of him when you get out of your comfort zone. So I'm saying that, and then what does the next verse say? I will get up now and go about the city through its streets and squares. I will search for the one my heart loves. So I looked for him, but did not find him. Have you ever had that? That you get a call from God. You feel this yearning, this pulling that God wants more with you, from you, wants to give you more. And you feel that yearning and that pulling. And so you decide to step out. Nothing happens. You step out, you give up your job to spend more time with him, you change jobs, you start getting up earlier, you read the Bible more, you decide to pray in tongues for 15 minutes every day or something, and yet nothing happens. You don't have any special encounter, and the angels don't start coming, you don't suddenly hear the voice of God, maybe you don't even feel his presence. And that's good. That means he's got his eye on you. And what it is, what I believe it is, what I believe he's saying here is, I want to know how much you want me. Are you going to keep pressing in when you can't feel him? When your prayer times are hard? When you've changed your job but still nothing seems to have changed? When you've done that thing you felt God calling you to do, and yet you still cannot see any difference? Are you going to keep pushing in? Because God needs us to be people who are strong and people who will keep going, who will keep seeking after him. He wants us to continue seeking after him. In fact, we need to continue seeking after him till the day we die. We need to be constantly be pressing in for more, looking for more, wanting to learn more, know about him. I mean, he is just so incredibly diverse in so many different ways. We can't even grasp at the hair's breadth of who God is in the whole lifetime that we've got. So there's always more to learn, and whenever we think we've got it, then we're mistaken. because there is just so much more of God to know, to understand, to see, and it is there for us. It's the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it's the glory of kings to seek it out. And he's called you as kings and priests, hasn't he? So he's called you to seek out the great things of God, and he wants you to press in for more. And many times he will call you, and you'll answer, and he will step away because he wants you to go deeper. Don't just make the answer. Don't just go forward in church or raise your hand or make that one decision and stop there. You must keep going. You must keep pressing in. He wants you to press into the more of him, because there is so much more. There is so much more, and some of those things we only discover as we sacrifice, as we lay down things, as we give up our time, as we give up our energy, as we prove our tenacity and our desire for more of him, that we're not just a fair weather Christian who just wants God for what he's going to give us, but we want him for who he is. And that, I believe, is the quality and the character that he's trying to develop in this bride here. He doesn't want her to just want him because she feels good when she's in his presence. She wants her to want him for who he is, because he's God, because he's powerful and awesome and great and mighty and deserves every breath that comes from our mouth. He deserves our entire life, every second that we live, everything that we own or think we own, every relationship we have, every joy, every crown, every bit of glory or praise that we're given, it all belongs to him. And we need to recognize that he has, we're the subjects. He's not there to make our life easy. God is not just a genie to make you feel good, to tell you that he loves you and he blesses you. He is an almighty, powerful, even fearsome God who deserves and requires everything of you all the time, and he wants it all. And as you give it all, then you receive so much more. We're not doing it for the receiving, although kind of we are in a sense, because we want more of him and we want to know him more. And Jesus is your very great reward. He is your reward, not the accolades of ministry or the title or the finances or the home or the love or the relationships. He is your very great reward. And as you begin to surrender to him, he really does become that. Sometimes we wonder, how can I give much more? How can he be everything to me? But we find it, the more we surrender and lean in towards him and press in towards him, the more we do that, the more our hearts are filled with the joy of who he is. And just being with him, just getting to know one tiny little thing about him, thrills us for weeks and months on end and feeds our spirit. So I hope that's encouraged you to keep on, and next time we'll look at what she does then when she stepped out and when she sought him. How does she find him again? Because obviously she does, because she's his bride and he desires for her to find him. How does he find her? Let's look next time. See you then. God bless.